Hello students, so today we are going to start with the topic reviewing content. So you should always preview the presentation and make changes if required before you present it to the audience. So you need to proofread and always have a fresh eye, means ask a fresh individual to review your content. So it always gives you a better understanding of where the mistake is happening. Presentation software includes options such as spell checks for correcting errors in a presentation. However, it is presenter's responsibility to check each and every point manually on each slide before attempting to make a presentation. So in this exercise, you learn to make an effective presentation. Making effective presentations takes practice, but with a few steps up your sleeve, you are ready to take on the challenge. So while making a presentation, before making a presentation, you need to have very cross-checked. You need to have the spell check done. You need to have the content verified and everything. So there are few topics, there are few points that you need to consider while making a presentation. Know your topic. You may want to charge right in and start using the presentation software. So basically the first thing that it tells is you should know your topic. Let's say if you're talking about the advantages, the evolution of computers from supercomputer to first generation, second generation, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So if you're talking about those topics, so you should know about the topic that you're talking about. What were the type of first generation computers, what were the advantages, disadvantages, what were the name of the first generation computers, what were the basic principles on which it was built, and then the second generation, third and fourth and fifth and sixth and so on. So use key phrase about your topic. So since you have done your research and you are well versed with the topic, assuming that, so but the audience that is sitting next to you might be very fresh on the concept or on the idea that you are going to present to. So try and use keywords and phrases as maximum as possible. So people get used to the idea, people get used to the phrases, and our audience is very much into the, because if you're going to use it in a very layman or very general topic and very the words are not self-explanatory itself, then it's going to be not being understood, not being catched by the audience. Avoid too much text on each slide. So you should avoid too much text on each slide. It should be on the basis of bullet points, short and simple. Limit the number of the slides. You should not have 100 or 1000 or 500, 200 slides. You should not have more than 20 to 30 slides while making a presentation. Presentation has to be very short and simple, as I told you, very concise. You need to have everything up your sleeves in the terms. You will be looking at the presentation, having a bullet point, but the context on which you will be speaking, you will be having the content for the same. So a small bullet point on the slide, but the verbal communication between you and the audience will be more. Plan the layout of the slides. So you need to design how the layout will be. First will be an introduction, then the flow of the event, flow of the presentation, and then the brief introduction about the topic, a brief history, why it is important, what you will learn at the end of the presentation. So everything like that. Avoid fancy fonts. So it is very suggested that you should use a combination of small letters and capital letters. Do not use all capital letters as it may be difficult to read. And also try and keep very simple, like either use Arial 12 or Times New Roman or Calibri 12. It is suggested Calibri 12 is the best. Use contrasting colors for text and background. So use different colors for text and background. Use a slide design template to keep your presentation look consistent. So if you are using a template for a presentation, slide presentation, so it's a slide template, so keep it constant. Every slide should have that same layout or same template. Use animations and transitions sparingly. So you keep, as we discussed in the last few classes, animations and transitions are very effective in making a presentation. So while you are making a transition or you are making an animation, keep it simple. Don't use too much of it. Use the points that we discussed while making transitions and animations is, don't keep on changing a transition or keep on changing an animation. Keep a universal and uniform transition or animation. Always review the presentation 2 to 3 times before making a presentation. So we have discussed that it is very important to be, if you have made a presentation, it's very suggestive that you ask someone else to review your content or get reviewed by a fresh set of eyes. So you get an idea where there is a spelling mistake or any grammatical mistakes, or there is a content missing, the flow is not good or something like that. So in the next class we will continue with this topic.